I'm here for my second appointment with Roy Pillay in Prestonville, near Umhlanga.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Ye. You can't see me because I'm hiding behind the camera. I have the honor of having Roy Pillay with me, and I'm sitting in front of him at his office in Umhlanga. Roy, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure, and after almost a year being a country chair, to come and see you and see where you are and get to know you more. Roy, first of all, if you can tell us your background, where did you grow up here in this area, and what did you study?
Okay, I've been born in Durban. I lived in a place called Effingham. Got married there. We have 3 children.
Yeah.
My daughter Priya and my twin sons, Kumershan and Kuvershan.
Yeah.
My wife's name is Jean. And we've moved to Umhlanga in 1993.
Okay, so almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. I first joined Sanlam on the 1st of August 1988 as a in-house financial advisor. And as time went on, I was earmarked to go into management. I went in to become a junior manager. However, I didn't like it simply because when my staff were not performing and they were not taking income home, it was not good. And I then decided to go and become an independent broker. I became an independent broker on the 1st of July 1990, which was 21 months after joining Sanlam. My offices were in Queen Street in Durban, and we built the new home in Umhlanga, and we moved in on the 16th of December 1993. And as of 1994, I operated my business from home. Currently, I have 3 external staff and 4 family members, including myself, in the business. So that's the staff complement. Our practice is a very successful one. Most of our clients are medical professionals. So I would say 80% of our clientele are in the medical professional, 10% business clients, and maybe the other 10% would be odds and sods. Lower end market where people need stuff and they hear of me and they come to me and they want my help and assistance.
Right.
That is our practices at the moment.
How did you get into the life insurance industry all these years ago?
It was coincidental that a friend of mine who used to play football with me came out to visit me and do a financial needs analysis for my wife and I.
Okay.
In late May of 1988. In the first week of June 1988, he set up an appointment for me to meet with his boss, the late Mr. Anand Jithu. After meeting with him together with my wife, we mulled over whether I should join the industry or not, because I was in a very senior position in my previous job. It took me approximately 2 weeks to make a decision in June of 1988. And I then resigned from my work with the Safco Bidvest Group.
Oh, Bidvest, yeah.
On the 1st of July. And I started with Sanlam on the 1st of August 1988. That is how it all started.
And you have no regrets?
I had no regrets. My ex-boss, who was Anand Jithu, was a highly driven and a very special man when it came to motivation. He kept a nickname for me. He used to always call me Mr. Styles because of the way I dressed and the way I carried myself. And he carried on telling me that I was the right man for the professional market. However, at the back of my mind, I thought, what is this old man thinking that I'm the right man for the professional market?
Yeah.
And true to the word, as he said I was the right man for the professional market, I met with the client with two brothers in late 88. And both of them bought life insurance products from me, from Sanlam. And the doctor made a mistake on their medical form. The question was, is the speech, hearing, and gait normal? Instead of the doctor putting yes, he put no.
Okay.
He put no.
Yeah.
So the underwriters came back and wanted a written report from the doctor as to why the question was answered no. So I called up the boys, the two brothers, and we went to meet the doctor.
Right.
And upon meeting him, he was very low-key and he was a gentleman to talk to. So I then approached him for his personal business, and he then said to me, no, I'm well taken care of with my personal business and I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So I kept quiet and I said, thank you, while he was doing the reports for both the brothers. However, as the lecturers taught us at Sanlam's training school, I decided to use a different angle. So I said to him, Doctor, you and I seem to have something in common. So then he looked at me and he said, and what might that be? I said, I see you bought a brand new BMW 3 Series. And then he looked at me and he said, I said, you bought yourself a lovely car. And then I said to him, I've also bought one. So then he started to listen to me now. And we started to get a conversation going. And then I said to him, Doctor, what are your hobbies, if you don't mind me asking? He said, my hobbies are fishing. And then he immediately in turn asked me what my hobbies were. I said, my hobbies is music. So he then, like a German shepherd, sticking up both his ears, and he asked me what instrument I played. And I said to him, no, I don't play any instruments, but I have a music system at home. To listen to this is something else. You know, it's like listening to a live band playing in front of you. And I said to him, you're welcome to bring your family and come home and sit and listen to music with me and have dinner with us. And as luck would have it, the following week he came home with his wife and his two children. 1 week prior to that, he said he didn't want to buy anything from me. But the following week, he had bought 6 policies from me. One for his son, one for his daughter, one for his wife. He increased his life insurance, he increased his PPS, and he increased his retirement annuity. A person who 2 weeks ago told me he's not interested, now thinks that I'm the greatest thing since the invention of sliced bread, bought 6 policies from me. And he introduced me to maybe the first 15 or 20 doctors and dentists. And after that, the rest was history. I started to... he then actually took me into the hospital, introduced me to some of the doctors in the hospital. And that is how I got into the medical school.
Right.
And that is how I made my inroads into the medical school and started working with students from 4th year onwards. Medical students from 4th year onwards. I used to actually spend a fortune with sponsorships in the medical school. I used to have 2 functions a year for them. That was low-key. And I used to have 1 formal function after the results came out. And the formal function was better than the function that the medical school had hosted for their students. I used to have it at either the ICC or a private hotel.
Right.
And that is how the business started to grow.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah, how you got your, if we call it break, and then from there
You just needed the break.
It just grew, and your marketing. I thought that's I don't know. It's like nowadays, people are doing business kind of online or virtually and things like that. And then what you're saying about inviting people into your home, it's, I would say for many people, they kind of see as taboo, like my personal space, my
Yes.
personal space. But do you think this kind of a thing still works in 2022?
The sixth year, final year students, I used to have 3 functions for them. One, outside of the campus at a hall.
Yeah.
I used to have one at my home, and we're talking an average of 100 students. One at my home. There used to be a marquee put out at the front,
Sure.
through the garages,
Right.
and my home became like theirs.
Yeah.
And they saw the warmness of my family, how we accepted them at our home
Yeah.
and in the function. And they were given literally everything that they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's how this business grew from strength to strength.
Sure.
And in the month of December, I used to write more than 200 policies from the time the medical school results came out in 6 weeks.
And is that because that those graduates, when they graduated and they're into the job market and they bought a policy?
From me, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Wow.
I mean, in 2005, October, I was bedridden with a back problem. Major back problem. It was so bad that I was like suicidal with the pain. I just could not handle the pain. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit.
That sounds so bad.
It was very, very bad. When they took me in to do an MRI, they had to put me on a bed. They couldn't put me on a wheelchair because I couldn't sit.
Right.
It was so bad that even when the results came out, I was at the medical school. I still gave them their function at the ICC.
Yeah.
And I lay on a 4-inch mattress in my TV lounge. And I did business with 32 new doctors. Lying on the floor on a 4-inch mattress.
You're still able to do business?
I swear to God. It's my hands up. I did business with 32 doctors lying on a 4-inch mattress on the floor.
That's commitment. If I were you, I probably would, just say, okay, I'm off sick, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
But
I did business with 30. Well, look, you must understand. Now we're talking 2005. Yeah, end of 2005. I would have spent over 100,000 rand for these students.
Sure.
Now try and equate 100,000 rand in 2005 to today.
Yeah.
How much money it would be today?
It would be a lot more.
So there was no ways.
Times,
there was no ways that I was not going to be able to do this business. And they empathized with me and they felt for me because they saw my condition.
Yeah. That's amazing. And now just take a little bit back. What made the decision for you to leave Sanlam and then go into your own?
That as well was strange. There was a gentleman by the name of Roy Singh. I used to address him as Uncle Roy. He was a very close friend of my manager, Anand Jittu. When he first met me and he spoke to me and he listened to me speak, he said to me, son, you have the ability to do a hell of a lot better in your life than what you're going to do just sitting with Sanlam. So he said to me, son, I can see it in you. I know you're going to do well. So become an independent broker like I am. But I said to him, Uncle Roy, I don't know what to do, where to start, where to go. He said, don't you worry. I will take you and sort everything out for me. So when I resigned, he took me through to Old Mutual and got my contract.
Okay.
He took me through to Sanlam and got my contract. He took me through to Standard in General, then it was Stan Gen, then he got my contract. So he got me the contracts with all the companies and he basically set me up to become an independent broker.
So he is independent.
He was independent.
He was independent and he got you to be also independent.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. He after listening to me on 2 occasions, he said to me, sitting at Sanlam for you will not make you grow as you would grow as an independent. And he was instrumental in me becoming independent.
Mm.
Yes.
All right. So today, after so many years, so do you have contract with just about all the major life insurance companies?
Not really. I have a contract with PPS,
Mm.
with Sanlam,
Mm.
with Discovery,
Yeah.
with Old Mutual, with Momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those
And-
are the companies.
And you do life insurance and investment business for professionals,
Absolutely.
medical professionals,
Absolutely.
and do you do other business like medical aid or short-term insurance?
We do medical aid, but we only do medical aid for our existing clients. I don't go and look for medical aid business as
Yes.
such. It is for our clients.
Mm.
We do medical aid, and there's only 3 medical aids that I do,
Mm.
which is Discovery, Profmed, and Momentum.
Mm. So very select range.
That's right. Yes.
Mm. Okay.
And with my type of clientele, Profmed
Mm.
and Discovery is more than adequate.
Mm.
So that's what most of my clients have.
Where's your client base? Is it mainly here or like you?
My
you
client
have
base-
Joburg and,
My client base
Cape
right
Town?
now, Kevin, is in Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria,
Mm.
the United Kingdom, Canada,
Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand.
Wow.
My clients are all over the place. And a
Okay.
lot of the
So
clients...
they emigrated.
Yes.
Over the
a
years.
Yeah. A lot of the clients that have gone abroad
Mm.
have still got a lot of their policies still running
Okay.
with us.
Right.
So they are serviced virtually,
Okay.
and they still get their normal service from us on an annual
Mm.
basis.
Mm.
So our clientele are all over the place.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. And if I may ask, how many clients are on your database?
Active clients or total number of clients? Active clients, I would say maybe 250, 300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say about 300.
So that's
It used to be a lot more in the past,
Mm.
but after we were introduced to the phase system,
Mm.
the service levels have got to be a lot higher.
Mm.
As a result, you cannot have 1,000 clients, because how do you service them
Yes.
if you just got?
So you actually had to reduce your number
I
of
have to
clients.
reduce my numbers
Okay.
simply because of the way that we need to comply now with
Mm.
with regulation.
Mm. I'm also independent. Okay, so I'd like to ask you maybe just about your system. What kind of CRM do you use? Financial planning software and that.
I think my daughter knows more about that, because
Okay, so
I've
she's
handed
like-
I've
okay.
handed the business to my daughter
Yes.
5 years ago.
Right.
However,
she's
though-
also a representative.
Yes, no, she's a key individual.
Key individual
She's got honors in economics. She's got a CFP.
Okay.
Yeah, father doesn't have a CFP, but the daughter has.
Right. And she's going to join MDRT soon.
Well, maybe she's told me. She says, "Dad, as long as you are in the business, you still qualify for all the awards.
Yeah.
And when you have totally stepped down and you're not in the business, then I will start taking over from you.
Mm.
But I don't want to push you aside. I want to be there,
Mm.
but while you're there and you still generate, I still generate the income,
Mm.
even though I'm 66.
Now let's turn to MDRT. How did you get to know about MDRT, and when did you join?
Well, when I started with Sanlam in 1988, immediately our boss, Anand Jittu, mentioned MDRT. There was the last quarter planning. It was September of 1988, and that's the time I officially started to do sales, because for the first 3 weeks,
Just training. And,
it's training. And I started on the 1st of August, so the 3 weeks was training. And basically September, I started to do business. And when we had the last quarter session, he's asked us to have a little card
Mm.
to write down the goals for the next 4 months, September, October, November, December.
Mm.
What your goals are going to be for the last quarter of the year.
Okay.
Okay, actually for October, November, and December, the last quarter, 3 months. And I put my goals in. And at the bottom of the goal sheet, I put there, I want to own a new BMW
Okay.
and I want to qualify for the $1 Million Round Table. I had it on my little card.
Mm.
This was in September of 1988.
Mm.
And I think it was January or February, I bought a new BMW. And I did qualify for MDRT in 1989. That was my first qualification for MDRT, 1989. That's a long time ago, eh?
Sure, definitely. That's the year I came to South Africa.
Yeah. It's over 30 years now.
Yeah.
So that is how I heard of MDRT. And I still remember when Anand Jathu, he used to hone into everybody, please go and attend these conferences.
Mm.
And the first big conference, which is similar to the way MDRT would be, was the Multi-Rand Forum that took place at Sun City.
Mm. I heard.
And I attended that one with him.
Mm.
And I attended every session that took place, every convention that took place locally, I attended. And those were the motivating factors for my success as well.
Mm.
Mm.
Have you been to MDRT annual meeting in America?
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying. Why I didn't do it, I don't know. And as I was also saying, I think I must have made top of the table, I don't know, 15 or 20 times.
Right.
However, I've never applied for top of the table because if you're not going, it just becomes expensive for your subscriptions. So I normally apply for quarter of the table. I did apply for top of the table a few times, but my figures are right up there.
Sure. And what does MDRT mean to you? You've been a member for so many years.
Look,
Yeah.
MDRT to me means status. It means that if it's on my business card, when a client receives a business card, and I do have a nice looking card, they straight away ask me, what is MDRT? And then I explain it to them. So it means it's a status symbol for me, as well as being a member of a select group of individuals in the world does speak volumes for somebody. And that's why I maintained my membership despite me not going for any one of them. You never know, I might go next year.
You're welcome to do that.
Yeah.
Next year we have a global conference. I think it's in Singapore.
Oh, next year, Singapore.
And the annual meeting in June is always in North America. Yeah. So global conference. I think the inaugural one I went in 2019. That's in Sydney. And then
when are they coming to South Africa?
Then that's what I'm trying to fight for. If we can have it in Cape Town or so then that would be nice. Yeah. About one client story that stuck with you over the years.
Well, basically, a lot of my clients that did business with me 30 years ago are still doing business with me. But I'll give you one story, which is a very sad one. There was a client that approached me in 1989 because he was turned down by Sanlam. Sanlam said they were giving him a back exclusion because he had a back problem. Now, these guys were 4 people that used to travel in one vehicle to work. So one of them was related to me, and he said and the others all did business with me. They said, so my cousin said to him, why don't you try my financial advisor, Roy Pillay? So he called me, and then I asked him, who did he try to do business with from Sanlam? And when he gave me the name, then I said, I can't interfere because he's a colleague of mine and we work in the same branch. And it would be unethical for me now to try and interfere with his client.
Okay.
However, it so happened that a month or 2 later, that young man was retrenched by Sanlam. And when he was retrenched by Sanlam, I then approached this gentleman and I said to him, Ash, please tell me, what kind of a back problem do you have?
Mm.
He said, I don't have a back problem. I just have backache because I'm a truck driver.
Okay.
I drive, we sometimes work a 10, 12-hour shift
Sure.
to work overtime,
Yeah.
and I have backache, which is normal. So I said to him, okay, fine, you go and speak to your doctor and ask your doctor to write a letter to Sanlam and state there, why are you giving my client an exclusion when he has no issues with his back? He's a truck driver. They work 8, 10, 12-hour shifts. You're in that position for 12 hours when you're working overtime. And he used to have back pain, not a back problem. So after the doctor's letter went into Sanlam's underwriting, Sanlam then said to me, you can give your client whatever benefit he wants at standard rates. So Ash was very, very impressed that we got him the policy at standard rates with no loadings, no exclusions, and he took out the policy. The following year, and he introduced me to many people because, again, he thought I was the greatest thing since the invention of sliced bread, because I got him something that somebody else couldn't get him from the same company.
Yes.
And that time, my offices were in central Durban. I was independent. And Sanlam had a special offer where selected clients were given cover that they could purchase without doing any medicals. They've only had 5 or 6 medical questions to answer. And he was one of them. So he came to my office to do short-term insurance for his motor vehicle. At that time, I was starting to do short-term. He sat on the left of me and his wife sat on the right of me. And I told him about the special offer. And he said to me, Roy, I'm sorry, I can't afford it because I've just started doing an extension at my home. I said, no, I understand. I said to him, however, though, I'm going to give you a little money box. Would you be able to put 50 cents a day in there? He said, absolutely. I said, can you put in R1 a day in there? He said, yes, I buy chocolates for my kids that cost more than R1 a day. So I said, let me try one more time, Ash. Can you put in R1.50 a day in there? He said, yes, I can. So I said, R1.50 times 30 days is 45 Rand. And that's your minimum premium.
Yeah.
So he actually said to me, Roy, you're a pain in the butt. In front of his wife. He said, you're a pain in the butt. Give me the forms. I will sign it. This was in October of 1990, October 1990. He said, give me the forms, I'll sign it, but please take the first premium on the 1st of December.
Right.
I said, fine. Now for the 45 Rand, he managed to get himself 55,000 Rand more life cover.
Okay.
The policy commenced on the 1st of December. However, as bad luck would have it, in the first week of December, one of the colleagues that he used to travel with, there was a freak incident that took place between his truck and his colleague's truck. And he was pinned between both the vehicles. He then fell to the ground. And when he fell to the ground, he thought he was okay. But then suddenly he started feeling pains. They rushed him to hospital. And he was in hospital for a few weeks. He told his family, please get Roy Pillay to come and see me in hospital. I want him to sort out my will so I can sign the will. Which I did. And they then moved him home. He went back home, and when he went home, his lungs had collapsed. This is after 21 days. They then moved him into a private hospital. He was in a private hospital for a week or 2, and then he died. Now, this is an amazing story because 2 years before that, the man he didn't want to buy the policy because of the loadings and the exclusions.
Yeah.
But I got him the policy at standard rates, and the new policy also paid out. However, the sad part was, when these monies all paid out to the wife,
Mm.
she then said to me, Roy, we are prepared to do the investments with you, but we'd like you to share your commission with us. And I said, I'm sorry. That is something I can't do. I took out my Luasa card and I showed her the code, the ethics code. I said, I read it out to her and I said, I've done my duty by getting your husband while he was alive, the policies that he wanted. I got paid for it. You can take your investments and give it to anybody if you think that you would like me to share my fees with you, because I'm not prepared to do it, because it's against my ethics, and I work very strongly with my ethics. So she only invested 50,000 Rand with us and invested the balance with somebody else. It didn't matter to me because I did my job as a financial advisor to pay out the claim when it was needed to be. Yes.
Wow, thanks for that story.
I know.
I guess every of us come across certain situation, and that's and that tells something about our experience. Okay.
I have another story where I had a young doctor, was 27 years of age. He took out a policy from us on a Tuesday with Old Mutual. He was in good health. He took out his policy on the Tuesday. And as luck would have it, the only blood test they needed or any medical they needed was an HIV test, not even a cotinine test. He did it on the Wednesday. And the Thursday the same week he was in the gym. 27-year-old started getting chest pains in the gym. He stopped on the treadmill and he went and saw a physician. The physician put him on the treadmill and he said, my boy, you've got changes on your ECG. You need to see a cardiologist. He saw a cardiologist on Monday, and on Tuesday he had to undergo bypass surgery. Old Mutual didn't even take out any premiums from him, but they honored the claim for 250,000 Rand.
Yeah, that shows the power of life insurance, or the promise.
That's right.
And that kind of a story is worth telling.
Yes, absolutely. And the third story, which is a very, very amazing story. PPS had broken away from Sanlam on the 30th of May 2007. And when they broke away from Sanlam, they brought out their own life products because they became a life company. And one of my clients was 38 years old then. I approached him about the new product offering from PPS, which was a whole life offering as opposed to term cover that was there in the past.
Right.
He had 7.2 million Rand cover at that point. So when I approached him, it was in June of 2007. I don't know if he knew something or not. He said to me, Roy, leave the 7.2 million Rand cover as it is. I don't want to change it to the new cover.
Okay.
I want to leave it as it is. But give me 5 million Rand more cover on the new cover.
Okay.
Which I did. And it was so strange that when PPS did this, PPS had major computer problems. And the case didn't even issue in December. Done in June, not issued in December.
That's a problem.
Was a huge problem. However, the same year we had gone to Florida to Disney. When I got back from Florida, PPS owed me a lot of money because they had a lot of business unissued. His case had gone through. But in February, something went wrong. They cancelled 10 million Rand of his cover. So I phoned the client and I asked the client, did you send a letter to PPS to cancel any of your life cover? He said, no, I've sent no letter. I only deal with Roy. So I went back to PPS. I said, my client has sent nothing to you guys. Why have you all cancelled the life cover? So anyway, as this was being sorted out, sometimes in March, it was a Wednesday, my clerk who works in that department came up to me and said, the cover has been reinstated. Everything is fine now. So I took the file and I left it here. And I said to myself, I'll phone the client tomorrow. And I didn't know, this was a Wednesday. And I didn't know that the client called the office that day to ask for RA tax certificates. And then he asked my clerk, did my life cover get sorted out? She says, yes, it's sorted out. The file is with Roy. He will come and see you either this week or next week. This was on the Wednesday that he phoned Khatija. On Thursday morning, we look at the newspaper. He passed away in his sleep. 39-year-old doctor had a heart attack.
Sure.
He had a heart attack in his sleep. Never woke up on Thursday morning. How I remember the day, because he went to watch a Champions League game between Manchester United and Inter Milan.
Yeah.
I still remember that. Yeah. So those were the three stories, and there's plenty more that I could tell you over the years that we've had that still sticks very clearly in my memory.
Thanks for sharing that.
No, it's only a pleasure.
What are your pastimes, hobbies at the moment?
Plenty. I like koi is one of my hobbies.
How long have you been into
about
koi?
25 years maybe. I love gardening. If you see the garden, you will see what the garden looks like at the back and the front of the home. I like nice cars.
BMW in particular.
Yeah. I've got 4 of them in the yard. Yeah. I'd say basically those. I like photography as well. Unfortunately, all my hobbies are expensive hobbies.
Yeah. For a young advisor who wants to do better in this profession, what advice do you have for them in terms of maybe is it a process, is it a principle, or is it like how do you, based on your experience and you being successfully transitioning your business to pass on to the next generation, what's for the younger advisor out there, maybe in their 20s or 30s, who's looking to you to give them advice, what kind of advice would you give?
Well, one of the things that I would say is your integrity. Your integrity, your punctuality, your service levels, it should be second to none. However, though, in South Africa, I've noticed that this current generation that we're going through, the young generation, do not want to buy life insurance products. Why? I don't know. Okay. When I started in the business 30 years back, you could market to young people. They believed in the product and they thought it was important to have.
Right.
But the current generation, which we call the silent generation, they're either on the phone or iPad or computer, they think that nothing is going to happen to them. So it's a very small percentage of the young generation wants to buy life insurance products. They are more electronically driven. They want to source everything out electronically. They think that nothing is going to happen to them, so they have no need for life cover, disability, income protection. It's a very, very difficult time, I think, for younger salespeople, because I have noticed this in a big way, that it's not the same as 30 years ago. However, though, I think if people, the younger salesperson, if he has the philosophy of honesty, hard work, good service levels, and not have complacency in them, they would do well. And one of the successes that I have is that I work like a trapper and not a hunter.
Okay. Trapper.
I work like a trapper.
Can you?
I set my traps,
Yeah.
and I go at the end of the week and go and undo the traps,
Yeah.
which is a lot easier than trying to go hunting, because you can hunt for a whole month and come home with nothing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But as a trapper, you definitely will be more successful. So when I am in a meeting with a client now, and if the client tells me, Roy, I can see the shortfall there, and there. However, I do not have the funds available to address all three items. Let us do the most important, which is item number 2. And item number 1 and item number 3, you can talk to me about it later. So I then find out from the client, when would you like me to call you? So if the client tells me 3 months' time, I come in my diary and I write it in the front of the diary and I put in brackets why. So that's basically working like a trapper. Now you're setting a trap for 3 months from now,
Yeah.
or 6 months from now.
Right.
You don't only wait for the time when you're going to do a review, because at the time when you're doing a review, the client may not be ready. But if the client told you to call me in 3 months or 6 months,
Yeah.
you pick up the phone and say, hi Kevin, you remember our last meeting in March, whereby you had a shortfall in your retirement, your income protection, and your estate duty, and you've chosen to do one of the 3, and you told me to call you in 3 months. That's why I'm calling you. So Kevin, what is your budget, and how much do you think you'll be able to set aside to increase your RA? And if you say 2,000 Rand a month, then it means it's better than not getting anything. See? So that's exactly how I work. And I have a constant flow of business, touch wood.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hardly bring in new clients. We work with our own clients. If you've got a diamond mine, why are you going to look for why do you look for gold? Your mine is in your own cabinet. You just need to work the cabinet. The better the service, the more business you get out of the client.
Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like this episode and share it with your friends.